Democrats, you have got to get away from these people. You don't know who they are. You think that you are using them for fuel. It's just the opposite. The uber left is populated with idealists at best. Then you have Marxists, the godless, killers, and the criminal elite. Once these people have enough power, or once they feel they have nothing to lose, they will kill you. How do I know? Let me fill you in. I don't know if you know this. They're Marxist revolutionaries. That's what they do. Hang on just a second. Let me show you something. Got to go behind the chalkboard. Let me go back here because I have it in the library. Yes, this is a little book I found in France. It is something called The Coming Insurrection. In it, they talk about the little politicians that they're going to kill. Because they say in their book that they're sick of all politicians. All of them. Even those on the left have betrayed them. It's in their little books. It's in their little pamphlets. It's on their websites. They're against the entire system. Read The Coming Insurrection, because it's almost not coming anymore. It's almost like it's here. Politicians on both sides have betrayed the people. That's what these people say. Now, I don't know if anybody in Washington gets this yet. Let me try one more time, and then I'm moving on. Congressman John Lewis, you know what, I tell you, when I first saw Van Jones, and I saw him the very first time, I had a chill run down my spine. I know who that guy is. He is a danger to this country. I know who he is. Now, first time I saw him, that's the way I felt. Haven't felt that way since, until I saw this yesterday. This is Occupy Atlanta. This is John Lewis, congressman. He is a legend in America. He is a human rights marcher that marched with Martin Luther King. I mean, he's about to learn that when you teach a society that history doesn't matter, even if you march with Martin Luther King, it doesn't matter. Here's a lefty who is about to be, in so many ways, deemed not worth treating with respect. Here's a man, there he is, that marched with Martin Luther King. This guy's seen the worst of the worst. He stood up to evil. He went to jail. He got the club to the head. You kidding me? Now what happens? Here's what happened when John Lewis went to Atlanta just to lend his support. Watch.
How do we feel? With hand signs, please. Let me take a moment to explain why
Please do.
we use hand signs.
Yes.
Clapping
John Lewis.
can prevent someone else who is addressing the assembly from being heard. We want everyone's voice to be heard. To signal approval, wave your hands or your fingers.
This is fun. It's like rubber
Look at
or
those
something.
out. That way, we can hear each other.
That's so great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do we feel about Congressman John Lewis
Yeah.
addressing the assembly at this time?
That's great.
Are there any blocks?
Oh, man.
There's a block here.
Like a little crazy, man.
Kickstart a democratic process.
Look at him.
Human being is inherently more valuable.
John Lewis is looking at him like, what are you, nuts? They're not going to let me speak? He's like, yeah, okay. I try the finger thing.
The temperature check. This is not a vote. This is just how you feel
Oh.
about what the block has said. How do we
Stop.
feel
I
about
can't
that?
take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Okay? I can't take it anymore. These guys are out of their mind. This is what democracy looks like? Yeah, this is what democracy, first of all, there's supposed to be people claiming to have a better way of doing things, repeating everything, doing it doesn't exactly scream government efficiency or build confidence. This should send a chill to your core, because what they're doing now is they are debating whether or not John Lewis should be allowed to speak. Bring the audio up again. Now he's looking, look at this guy, Marxist, communist. Oh, what? I've got a problem. Who's got to go potty? I do. Look at this. So John's like, what the? Now this is a brief glimpse into mob rule. People ditching their individuality in favor of mindless chanting along with the collective. This is what democracy looks like? Oppressing someone from speaking because you don't have a consensus? Democracy is not a consensus. Democracy is a majority. That's why we don't have a democracy. We have a constitutional republic. History will teach you every time that groupthink and operating based on the collective never, ever ends well. Never. And we've seen it time and time again. All over. I mean, it came to Tunisia, started in Tunisia, then it went to Egypt, and then it went to Libya, and it spread all over the Middle East, and then it jumped up to Europe, and it's been happening in Europe, and now it's beginning here. Our time is coming. This was the Arab Spring. We're in the European fall. We're about to hit it. Nobody's really talking about Europe yet. Oh, they will. Because this has oppression and this has real poverty. This is about to get real poverty, and so is this. I think there's going to be a slowdown this winter because it's going to heat up in Europe. And this will affect us eventually. I don't know how long we have. It could happen by the end of the week. We could be in this. It might be next year. It might be 2 years. But I warn you, gang, it is coming. What you're seeing played out now is a replay kind of the Hungary Revolution. Oh, revolution in Hungary, Hungary. Oh my gosh, that's where George Soros lived when he was a kid. Fast. They've started a revolution, they collapsed the government, and they lost it again, all in the span of 12 days in Hungary. How long did it take all those countries? But more Occupy protests are coming. They are spreading all over the globe. Here they are. This is next Saturday. Mark my words. You are going to wake up one day and things will have changed almost overnight. Cataclysmic global changes are coming. Remember, workers of the world unite. It's not just the slogan anymore. So the movement is global. Great. But I ask Americans to answer this question. Who is the wealthiest 1% on the rest, to the rest of the globe? Sorry. Us. You. The 99% is actually the 1% to the rest of the globe. You'd think John Lewis would begin to understand what he has just witnessed. But this is a really bad sign. He apparently doesn't. Congressman, open your eyes. Wake up. These are not Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, do you think Martin Luther King? You should be ashamed of yourself. Were you there with Martin Luther King or not? The answer is yes, sir. Do you think Martin Luther King would have been tolerating anyone defecating on a police cruiser? Having sex under tarps? I've read the rules of the protesters, sir, that you signed. Live the laws and the life of Jesus. That ain't it, Jack. This is a different kind of protesters. Now, I want you to know Nancy Pelosi raved about them. Here she is in all of her plastic surgery glory.
No longer will the recklessness of some on Wall Street cause massive joblessness on Main Street. And God bless them for their spontaneity. It's, it's an independent people coming. It's young.
Young.
It's spontaneous.
Yes.
It's focused.
Focused.
And it's going to be effective.
Really, Nancy? There you are with John Lewis. When conservatives protested the health care bill, you did everything you could to provoke the crowd by walking right through them against all advice from all security. You walked right through them. You failed to get a reaction, and then you lied, claiming to have been spat on, and somebody used the N-word. Where's the proof of that? All the cameras around? All of the cameras. You have the video in the crowd. You have it from all different angles, the entire walk, not one bit of evidence. And yet, you trotted that out again this weekend. In defense of a crowd that denied Congressman Lewis the chance to address the crowd. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage over photos like this? Try this. Queer kids, why kill yourself when you can kill your parents? How about this one? The outrage over a protester in D.C. who said, quote, "They're devouring us, and now it's time we start devouring them back. Yes, I'm advocating cannibalism. We ought to cut them up and have a little ritual where we call it communion." Got a problem with that? Well, yeah, the guy's name. Have you heard that quote anywhere? Several New York State lawmakers are now receiving emails threatening them that they have to start taxing the wealthy. Quote, "It is time to tax the millionaires. If you don't, I'm going to pay a visit with my carbine to each of those tech companies you're so proud of and shoot every spoil Ivy League expletive I can find." Nancy, by the way, they reference in that the top 1%, and they are part of the 99. So it's not a Tea Party person. I don't know about you, but I've heard this kind of rhetoric before. Yeah, I have. From Che, from Lenin, from Stalin, from Mao, from Adolf, from all of them. It always ends the same. It always just starts the same way and ends the same way. Do the people in Washington really think the guy that's holding the head of Goldman's CEO on a pike, you really think they're playing around? You really think they're not going to come for you? They're complaining about the bailouts that you voted for, Congressman. You've betrayed them too. Lewis is a civil rights hero in America. I don't care if you agree with him or not. I don't agree with him. But he's a civil rights hero. The man has done amazing things. And this is how we treated him? What is your out? You need one. Because you're the enemy. Nancy, I don't know what you're thinking, but these people will burn down houses, they'll burn down your vineyard, they'll burn down your private jet, whatever else you own, because you voted for TARP. They believe you're in bed. Nancy, please, read this. Read this. You won't, because you're arrogant. You're so hell-bent on trying to score political points. You're so drunk with power that you're blind and you're not seeing it coming. I warn anyone in America within the sound of my voice, please listen to me. I told you this would happen 2 years ago, and people laughed at me. Please, I warn you now. If you have any kind of money, if you have any kind of means, and I mean you and your husband or your wife make $100,000 a year, that's money. They'll take it. I warn anyone that is a CEO, God help the bankers, anyone who's a CEO of a big business or runs a small business, I don't care if it's a gas station or a convenience store. I warn anyone who is Jewish or stands with the Jews, anyone who is Christian outside of the Westboro Baptist Church, and I warn politicians on both sides of the aisle, you will pray for the help of the Tea Party. You thought they were radical? Oh, no, no. You're about to meet the radicals. The Tea Party wants the Constitution. They want a return to the law. They want an end to the criminal corruption on a global scale.